So, to put a running count to it, we have 123 NW openings to do. And we're going for Summerslam special, so we actually don't need anything off here. For the Summerslam special, we need to go back to the original piles. And I need to use my force powers to get this Rick Rude. You know what? I'm actually going to get this Austin down as well, because I think that these are actually a decent enough price on eBay for it to be worth selling again. Don't know why it keeps going up and down. And then we're going to get the Ravishing one down as well. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm just doing the 2023 SummerSlam special for DSW Network, and since we haven't gotten the 2023 Elite here in the UK, and since the 2022 and 2021 series didn't really have anything for me, we're throwing it all the way back to the 2020 series of SummerSlam figures, which we actually more or less got in 2021 in the UK. And we are opening Elite 77 SummerSlam Ravishing Rick Rude. And this is the regular version. I've had umpteenth opportunities to get the chase, but I just didn't really see the point. I mean, you know, it was nice and all, but, you know, it kind of had the Intercontinental title thing, and it was more of a display piece than anything really, whereas this is just a really nice attire. Of course, this was a pretty good SummerSlam series, as I've mentioned on the channel many times. I had always wanted a Viscera, so it was very cool to see Viscera in the line. AJ Styles, of course, was a UK shelf warmer as always, but not as bad as Miss Elizabeth, the new face of UK shelf warming, taking over from the previous Miss Elizabeth figure. Bray Wyatt did okay though, but I'm pretty sure the Ronda shelf warmed as well. Yeah, maybe I was exaggerating a bit when I said that it was a good series. But, you know, Rick Rude, Viscera, that's a good series in my eyes. It's better than most if it has one figure in it that I was interested in. And you can see from the dust all over it how long this guy's been sat waiting to be opened. This was back in 2021 when B&M got that reload of the Elite 77, which we'd seen a little bit of the year before, but this was, you know, this was when they really took over. As you can see, we've got the separately packaged jacket, which is nice. You know, there was a packaging variant there, but the regular jacket the dye could run into the figure, and of course that would have been terrible if we had dye all over this absolutely beautiful Ravishing Ricky Rude figure. So we got his gorgeous face on the side, we got his gorgeous face on the back, we got his gorgeous face on the other side. And that's more or less it. I mean, you know, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this. The man has been waiting to be opened since, well, 2021 when I picked him up, 2020 when he'll have been manufactured. So, yeah, let's get him out. Just realised my floodlight was turned down a bit for some reason. Oh well, better lighting for the rest of the video. Now, let's get into this. Oh, those were the days. Just having one piece of tape to cut. Never mind all these... Oh, the box is still ripping though. Never mind all these ones I keep having to spend 45 minutes cutting the tape on. I mean, okay, just before I pull the figure out, I'd just like to reiterate how nice this SummerSlam packaging is. The nice orange packaging. It's really cool. I think it's better than a lot of series, and I think they should stick with the orange SummerSlam packaging when they do a SummerSlam series. But they do seem to like to change it up depending on the show, on every themed series, so I guess that's not going to happen. Anyway, so we got the blue backing card there. That's quite nice. A little bit different, very simple, very nice. And we have some ties to cut off there and there. Oh, the bag is actually packaged on the back. That's interesting. Okay, cool. Get his hand out. Okay, so let's get into this one. First of all, this is a really nice figure. Rick Rude's had some really nice elites, and I should know my friend Tom O'Neilly has all of them. And I really think that this stands up really high on the list of them. I mean, it's really hard to tell because all of his looks are so disparate, really, but yeah, it's really quite nice. The head mold is really good. Although, you know what I'm curious about now? Is it his... Has that been reused? No, it hasn't really. You know, really nice, bright and colourful attire. The chase was nice as well in that it was bright yellow, and that's usually the kind of thing that that can clickbait me with a figure a little bit. The Intercontinental title thing, you know, it seemed like too much of a gimmick attire really to be massively useful in a figure fed. We got the really nice colours all the way up and down the trunks there. Just brilliant, sort of ravishing, you know, over the top brightness and everything. There are some bits of paint wear on this, I'm not gonna lie, and I noticed straight away, even when I bought the figure, I think I took the one that had the best face paint, but that meant I had to take one with a bit of paint wear there on the crotch. As you can see, there's also a bit of pink there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be there. It's not there on the other side, but it does kind of fit, I guess. And obviously, when you have this much kind of paint on a figure, etc., on all this different changing colors and stuff, there are going to be a few bits where the paint comes off. In fact, just holding this in my hand, I do feel like as soon as I start animating something with this paint is going to start to chip. So that is not ideal, because I don't know, it just feels like the paint is applied to the figure rather than kind of being part of the figure, if you get what I mean. You know, it feels like it hasn't been sealed in there. Anyway, we've got the Simply and Ravishing on the boots. That's really nice touch. The yellow and black boots, really quite nice. Underrated part of this figure, I would say. It's not something I really think of. And then on the back, we have got Feel the Heat. You could team him up with Eddie Guerrero, really, couldn't you? And then on the back, we just have that kind of fire decal, which I guess is kind of taking over the front decal, the kind of Ultimate Warrior face on the front there. You know, the heat, I guess, is kind of taking over that. And we have his nice little anchor tattoo on the arm there. Right, let's get into it. Let's get into a joint check. Okay, so, I just realised there's paint on his moob. There's like orange, a bit of orange paint there on his left boob. Well, it's just typical, isn't it? You get the jacket packaged separate and he ends up with paint all over him anyway. That's something that, you know, I should have noticed in the shop. This is why I spend 20 minutes staring at every figure to see which one's the best. Anyway, let's go again with that attempt to start a joint check. So the head, I mean, that seems pretty loose. I was hoping that his long hair was going to kind of... I mean, maybe that is the hair, maybe that's the joint, I don't know. But... So it's stiff to turn, but it's kind of loose to hold its shape. That's a good combo. That's good combo. Right shoulder is nice and tight, goes up and out, although these older figures didn't tend to have much of a problem with stuff like that. And the bicep swivel is fine, although there is a slight mark on that bicep. Not sure if you can see that, just on the inside there. And some black marks on the shoulder anyway. Again, not really thinking that the separate packaging from the robe has really saved this figure. That elbow's fine though. And the wrist is pretty good. It's a little bit loose, but it's an interchangeable hand, which also means it's only going to get worse. But yeah. The other shoulder, up, out, that's absolutely fine. It's quite nice and tight. Bicep swivel is fine. Elbow is fine. And that hand is probably more or less the same as the first one. Tosser joint. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, just holds a chip. Waist is fine, maybe a little bit, maybe erring a little bit on the loose side. Now I'm hoping this isn't going to do a Kenny Omega and start peeling the paint as soon as I put these leg joints up. But yeah, so leg goes up fine, knee comes down fine, boot cut goes out fine, and that toe barely moves like most of them. Then we got leg up. We got knee, maybe a little bit stiff at the top there. And the boot cut. I never do these thigh cut joints anymore because, I mean, you just don't really need them for anything, so I don't see the point in loosening them. That boot cut is maybe a little bit loose, and this toe is definitely cause for concern. That's just flopping around everywhere. But it still doesn't go up and down. So, yeah. Okay, interesting one. So, in terms of accessories, we have interchangeable hands. Now, we've got the Rick Rude hands on already, and you know me. I hate when you only get fist hands and paused hands. I love to get open grip hands where people can hold weapons, etc. But the only thing I love more than this hand combination is getting the fists as well. So having two pairs of interchangeable hands is really, really cool, especially for a figure this old. You know, there's plenty of figures that don't come out with two pairs of them nowadays. And, you know, it's really nice to see that Ravishing Rick has been able to get multiple pairs. Viscera had quite a few pairs as well, so maybe it was just a thing in the series. But I can't imagine Miss Elizabeth and Ronda Rousey had all that many pairs of hands. And then we'll get into the robe, which I've been calling a jacket this whole video. It's not really truthfully accurate, is it? So we have a beautiful gold trim, gold collar around it, simply ravishing in gold letters on the back, and then the gold spots all over. It's a nice soft goods robe. It has a small Velcro bit there in the middle so that it still wears like a robe, but it doesn't have a string that goes all the way around. So this is what Rick looks like with the robe on, as he was originally packaged. And there we go. We need to raise his hands to see the Simply Ravishing on the back. Collar up or collar down? I think I prefer it collar up. He looks like some kind of, I don't know, Star Trek character or something. So all in all, I think this is a really nice figure. Rick Rude is another one of those classic superstars that I always wanted a figure of when I was a kid. So it's really nice to add him to the collection. I think this is a really nice iteration of him as well. I think it's nice that we've got this kind of like long-haired Rick Rude look, which is not necessarily better than a short-haired Rick Rude, but you know, it's nice that we have the variation. It's nice that we have the multiple options, really. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this. It's a really nice, bright figure, and I have no major complaints with the way that this is. Mind you, we probably are due another Rick Rude with double jointed elbows, because he just can't quite reach, especially with the robe on. I also, in retrospect, don't think the head scan, which I didn't really talk about, but Rick Rude head scans, generally speaking, are fine. I don't think it really kind of encapsulates the absolute smarminess of Rude. But yeah, so this particular version, we've got some loose joints, we've got some paint wear, we've got some paint in the wrong places. At the end of the day, that's not really down to the figure design. That's just my bad luck in having picked up this particular one. That being said, it is a pretty good figure. Now, what I like to do to finish off my figure unboxings is talk about what this guy's going to be doing in my figure fed. In 3 words, I don't know. I mean, he's going to be a kind of, you know, go-to kind of journeyman player in the classic and legends kind of stuff. But I guess there's not necessarily anything planned for him. That being said, as I say, he is one of the classic superstars I always wanted when I was a kid. So, you know, maybe he'll get a push at some point. I would imagine if I get off my ass and film some stuff, I would imagine he'll get something going eventually. But that being said, I hope you enjoy Summerslam tonight, guys. If you have liked this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought, and check out the NWOpening playlist in the end screen. Thank you all for watching so much, and goodbye.